Pascua-Matte. I live in Fort Simpson. I'm in grade 12. I'll take any advice you have at this point. And I am a member of the Prime Minister's Youth Council. No, I don't have Justin's number. They told me to talk about one of my passions today, and it just so happens that something new has come up in the field that I'm very passionate about, that being education. I imagine most of you have heard about the MOU for the implementation of reduced instructional hours for many Northwest Territories schools. And if you don't, I'll summarize very quickly. What happened was two teachers did a study within the Northwest Territories, and they discovered that teachers didn't have enough time to prep, therefore students didn't have fully developed classes. All of a sudden, this plan came up to reduce the hours, and parents weren't really consulted, so they were they were outraged about it. So they have to accommodate for their child a couple Monday mornings a month, and they also weren't included in the implementation or decision, which they should have been. We commonly forget to think about the individual in the equation, that a movement is a community effort. Home life is so important to a child's development that sometimes I'm surprised that we forget when we do studies on education. What you learn from your family, from the time you're born to the time you're exposed to outside influences, will be the base of your personality. Therefore, the root of not only a good student, but a good person is the family that influenced them. That's where it starts. We also miss that the most important stakeholders, the students themselves, that haven't been consulted. I am very nervous, if you can tell. There are a lot of brilliant people in my school that have a hard time flourishing because they are in an environment that views education as just a responsibility. It's not viewed as a right or a privilege. It's not, oh, my bad. Students aren't told that they have the right to equal opportunities, which they do not receive in smaller communities, nor do they realize they exist. You cannot receive the same classes, clubs, activities, or voice without a full community effort, which is extremely hard to get. For example, I've always wanted to play the drums. I think they're really cool. But I haven't had the opportunity to see a set nor play them. A lot of times we jump too fast before we grasp the complexity of low graduation rates and low post-secondary rates. But not jumping at all is a shame. I'm all about change, with the exception of climate change. But I also advocate for finding common ground, something that people aren't always searching for. With the diversity in Canada, it's time we recognize it and prepare tailored programs that promotes the heritage, the people, and the pure beauty of each ecosystem that works with the communities, not just within them. Living in a place for so long can make you forget how unique the people and places are. Canada is not the same from coast to coast. As a youth, I can tell you that sometimes it feels very restricting when you have all these rules and regulations put forward telling you you can't do things. But all we're looking for is that intergenerational relationship where we can tell you our concerns and our ideas, but you're not trying to control us. You're trying to guide us. The goal should be to empower youth to take responsibility for their future. We need to communicate with each other in order to make any progress. And it needs to start soon. I hope you don't take this as a grain of salt, and I hope you you don't leave this saying, that was a really great talk, and then never talk about it again. I want you to apply it to your kids, your grandkids, cousins, nephews, nieces, your neighbors' kids, and show them that they're in control of what's going to happen in the next 20 years. Because you're hearing it all over the place, but I don't hear it here. That's all that I have for you today. Thank you for listening, and thank you for taking part in the conversation.